This is a short video about the influence of language and literacy in my educational career. I'm going to highlight some of the major moments in my life that had a large influence on the way I see language and literature right now. When I was a young child, I was fortunate enough to have my mom teach me the alphabet and teach me how to read and write before I entered kindergarten. I entered kindergarten well prepared and eager to read. My favorite book was Drummer Hoff. I remember reading it over and over, and I eventually did a book report on it. Although I grew up speaking only one language, English, I was eager to read and I excelled in school as a small child. Next to English, music is probably the language that I am most familiar with. Like most fourth graders in the state of California, I learned how to play the recorder in a music class. I found music to be extremely interesting and eventually pursued the trumpet in sixth grade. I quickly discovered that I had a natural talent for reading and playing music. I enjoyed playing the trumpet, and I continued playing in band all through high school, playing various instruments along the way. Some people don't consider music a formal language, but most people that play music consider it to be a language in its own. There are several examples throughout history where an orchestra meets with members from all around the world who all speak many different languages, but they are all able to play the same piece of music together, just like all speaking the same language. Although I don't play music as much as I used to, I consider it to have had a very strong influence in the way I view language and literacy right now. When I was in high school, I attempted to take my first foreign language class, Spanish. Unfortunately, the teacher I had at the time was not very involved. The majority of class time was spent completing our cinco al dia, or 5 a day. Very rarely would she get up in front of the class and actually teach. Because of this, I feel like I missed out on quite a lot of Spanish that I otherwise would have learned. After taking one semester of Spanish in high school, my reading and writing scores started to drop. It was difficult to keep interest as I progressed through high school. Looking back now, I didn't have the right kind of motivation to finish schoolwork when I was in high school. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and all I knew is that I had to do this work because that's what I was told to do. I ended up graduating high school with a 2.9 GPA, a love of music, and a very strong disinterest in reading and writing. Luckily, though, things changed. Shortly after high school, I had a very negative experience with manual labor. I knew that if I wanted to stay away from manual labor, I should go to college. I enrolled at Clovis Community College where I started my educational career in becoming a teacher. I still disliked reading and writing, but I knew it was for a better future. The majority of my growth in language and literacy has been at my time at Fresno State, both an undergraduate and so far in the credential program. I've learned many new perspectives on language and literacy that I think have enabled me to be a better teacher. It wasn't until recently that I discovered my passion for reading and writing. I even purchased several books for leisure reading outside of class. Although my experience of language and literacy may be very typical in American culture, it still makes me unique. I've enjoyed learning different experiences and perspectives on language and literacy so far. Even the ideas expressed in the Culturally Sustaining Pedagogies book have been interesting to me. The many experiences I've had with language and literacy, both positive and negative, have helped mold me and shape me into being the person that I am today. Hopefully for the better, so that I can be a better teacher. This concludes my presentation, and thank you for watching.